I'm about to show you how to build $1 million company from scratch. Let's dive into it.
Welcome to the Smack Fest, the beat down. The SWAT team is here on another beautiful day of shutting the week down.
Hey guys, if you're new to the channel, my name is William Dauria. I built a multi-million-dollar company from scratch. I did it several times, and I'm going to show you the path to success isn't always what you see online. I started with flipping motorcycles. Now I am in real estate, rental property, but I'm going to show you how I started with nothing. So if you're interested in financial freedom, be sure to subscribe because I make several videos per week. It all started when I joined the military when I was 17 years old. I did 3 deployments overseas, and my last deployment was to Iraq when I got back in 2009. I was a 50 cal gunner on convoy escort on the top of Humvees. I saved all my money, and when I got back, I had about $40,000 in savings. Now, I allotted 20 of it. 20,000 was to basically get my life back in order, move out of my dad's house because I didn't have a place to stay because I was deployed for 18 months, almost 18 months. I had to buy a truck. I had to get a cell phone. I had to, everything get started up again. Life is expensive getting going. So I allotted 20,000 for that and then 20,000 to get my new business off the ground. I started with a capable product. And in this case, it was flipping motorcycles. I found that I could take a motorcycle. I learned everything about it when I was overseas. I read magazines for basically years, and I knew everything about how to buy a motorcycle, what to buy at price, how much it costs to fix up, what I could sell it for, and I started flipping motorcycles. But it starts with starting with a capable product. For instance, there's a couple examples out there. Let's just say you wanted to sell candles. Super cheap to get into, except for you're selling them individually, one at a time, or maybe a 5 or 10 10 at a time to people, and it's just not scalable unless there's 2 trends out here. Unless you're the wholesaler, unless you're the distributor to larger companies. Let's just say Bed Bath & Beyond, and you were the middleman to Bed Bath & Beyond. You would go to them, you would say, I could offer you this product, this is what I can get you, and then you would be the middleman taking the cut. Therefore, now you can distribute to all the Bed Bath & Beyond, and therefore your scalability is much greater. It's easy to improve at that point versus you in a garage making them yourself, selling them, making a couple bucks here and there. It's just not a scalable business. Also, you can do the same thing when it comes to massage therapy. Okay, when it comes to massage therapy, you have one person, you're trading your time for money. You can only do so much per day because, well, you run out of time. It's only you. Now you can hire employees, but you still have one location. So if you were getting into something like that, for instance, you just need to think differently. How do I build this one business? How do I systematize it so it's easily replicatable? I have to say that slowly. And then the real money is into franchising it out. And I'm obviously in a house and I have dogs and cats and kids. And so if you hear some stuff in the background, that's all it is. So the real money is to actually franchise out that kind of business. Once you can replicate it and you can systematize it and show people, hey, I can sell this to you and you can turn it over to a monkey and then they could run it because this is all of your steps. This is the revenue. This is all the pricing charts. This is everything. Here's another one. What I did. I started with flipping motorcycles. I would buy a sport bike. It was sport bikes, and I did cruisers as well. I would buy a bike. I would fix it up. I would put it back on the market, and then I would make, let's just say, $1,000, right? But the problem was this. It still wasn't super scalable because I wasn't building something that I was actually able to franchise out. I was actually building something that was basically internal, that I really couldn't hire. I could hire some salespeople, which I did, and I could hire some mechanics, but I was having a really hard time replicating me. You need to be able to replicate you. How easy is it to replicate you? Can you make 1,000 of you? My answer was no. Could I make 100 of me? My answer is no. I couldn't make 2 of me. Okay, I could not find somebody that knew about how to buy them, how to fix them, how to market them, how to sell them, the books and paperwork and everything, it's just everything encompassed. I could not find somebody that could do everything. I had to find this person did a little this person did a little that, I'd have a lot of people just to replicate or start to replicate what I could do alone, but it was a very hard business to scale. So the number one thing is to start with a capable product, and you have to ask yourself, when you find that product, you have to ask yourself, how scalable is this? Okay? Could you sell 1,000 candles in a day? How about 10,000? How about 100,000? Is that even possible? And if the answer is no, it's not a scalable business. That's the first metric to look at, whatever you're looking at. Let's just say you're selling books, ebooks. Now you can sell 1,000 in a day. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just something to look at, because if it's not scalable, your income potential right off the bat is already cut down significantly. And if you're trading your time for money, it's probably not a business to be getting into in the first place. Routine. The second thing is, when you start a business and it's scalable, you need to get into routine. Now, this is the mundane, boring part of a business. It's, like my routine, for instance, when I started the motorcycle shop was, wake up at 8:30 or 8 o'clock, go to the gym, work out, come back, take a shower, be there by 10. I would stay there and I would always skip lunch. Every single day I did what's called a working lunch. It would be basically, I do not take an hour break. I do not take a 30-minute break. I literally eat, if I can, if I have time, at my desk. I eat it, I'm moving on, I'm working while I'm taking lunch, okay? That saves me, let's just say, an hour per day. If you take an hour lunch times, I work 6 days a week, that's almost an entire day per week that I got back, that the average person is losing, that they don't even realize that they're losing. So your routines are very important. I would say till about 6, or that's when we officially close. Sometimes I wouldn't get out there till 9, because I work for the customer. I stayed until they were 100% taken care of, and we got them out the door. Usually it was the financing thing that was taking a long time. But that is basically, you got to get a routine. You got to stick with it every single day. Pound or beat on your craft is what they call it. 7 days a week if you have to, okay? Don't let somebody else tell you what's normal and what's not. I think personally, a 40-hour work week is for lazy people. I think 40 hours a week is a lazy person's work week. Double it down. Look at Elon Musk. He's doing 100 hours a week. He's not complaining, okay? Look where he is in life. Maybe look where somebody who's not doing that is in life, okay? You kind of understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying trade your time for money, but you need to put the time up front, so later on you can let somebody else take over. But you have to put up the work initially and do it on the foremost, up on the forefront, in order to establish how this is supposed to be done, so you can teach others how to do it, so you can step back and you can scale your hours back, ultimately possibly releasing it over to somebody else. Like I do real estate now, I have property management companies that overlook all of my properties for me. I don't get the call in the middle of the night for the toilets, for instance. The next is repeat. Okay, so you went from having a routine, and then once you get that routine, you need to go to repeat it. And sometimes, guys, this is what I want you to understand. A successful business is a simple business. Any business out there that's really successful, or I should say most of them, some of them, the tech industry could be a little different. Some of them, they're going to be simple, okay? And let me give you a fun example, okay? I used to buy this same motorcycle again and again and again and again and again, okay? It was a 2000, at the time, it was a 2006, 2007, those are the same year, make, and model, Suzuki Gixxer 600 or 750, okay? It was that year, make, and model and body style that were the best sellers that I had on the floor, bar none. They would sell 10 to 1 to any one of my bikes, and I kept buying them again and again and again. And my mechanic was like, I'm kind of tired of working on these things, I've been, can we pick something new and different? And I'm like, no, these are working. I'd like to buy, 1,000 of these if I can at the same time. My dogs are fighting. Stop. 1,000 of these at the same time if I can, okay? Because it works. It might not be fun. It might not be pretty, but I do, it's what worked. And we did it again, and we did it again, and we did it again, and we didn't stray far from it. Occasionally I would buy like a Ducati or an Aprilia. I would try to, change it up a little bit. But for the most part, I stuck to what works. And it wasn't just that bike. It was like, a handful of bikes, maybe 5 to 10 motorcycles that always sold in the specific color at a specific price and in specific mileage. I would buy those and I would hone into them because it's what works. Find what works in your business. It's simple. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS. What is it? Keep it simple, stupid, or keep it stupid, simple. Whatever. Okay. The simple businesses are the ones that, if I can't explain to you how this business works in, let's just say 30 seconds or less easily, it's probably, you got to really relook at that business, okay? Or at least the business model. It needs to be super simple. I need to be able to explain maybe to an investor, for instance, hey, this is what I do. These are our profit margins. This is how we are planning on the scale. And, let me make sure that you understand this. And in 30 seconds, you should know, hey, I love this model or I hate this model. Yes, I want to invest. No, I don't. But keep it simple. is the name of the game. Don't try to overcomplicate things. Another one is to remove all distractions. And you have to look at it like this. If a distraction, if whatever you're doing is not productive, question its value, okay? So basically, if you have something that keeps pulling off and keeps, drawing attention outside your business, really pay attention and say, if I were to get rid of that thing completely, could I reduce it, or what would be the effect? Because if I keep, doing this thing over here, let's just say, hey, my friends want to meet at Top Golf. That's like a big fancy golf place, and you do have drinks and food and all that. Every Friday, for instance, and on Saturday we also do this as well. You have to ask yourself, look, is building business more important, or is effing off more important? Because now you're going to have the next day of a hangover as well when you're trying to concentrate on building up a brand. And sometimes things have to be scaled back or even eliminated for that matter. Maybe it's a whole different group of friends that you have to find in order to get to where you need to be, so where you can take the time off that you need to, and it doesn't actually affect your business, your lifestyle, your income, your productivity, what you're bringing to the family in the long run. Because everything that I do I'm always looking at the long term, okay? Like, what is the long tail? They call it long tail. What is the long tail on this? Okay, like, can I hand this down to, my kids one day? Is this handleable at all? Is this systematized? Is it running by itself? Or is it something that you need to run, 100 hours yourself, per week to actually maintain? Like, you need to get it to a point where you can scale back enough to where it's running on its own, where you can focus on starting something else as well, if that's what you want to do. The next one is to replace. We touched on this a little bit, is basically get to a point where you can teach others how to do it, and you can be replaced in your shoes in that business so you can step back. We touched on that a little bit, but I wanted to actually hit the point to make sure that you can get your business to a point where you can actually replace yourself with somebody else that can run it. So be sure that when you're starting a business, if you're buying and reselling Nike shoes, for instance, right, you have to think in your head, how easy or hard is this going to be to find somebody that knows everything about Nike shoes? If I can look at it and say, this year, make, and model, and this production line is worth this, and this production line, even though it looks the same, is worth nothing, how many people actually know that, and how easy is it going to be to find somebody that's just as good as you are to do that? The answer is going to be really, really hard. Okay, so you have to look at, from the beginning, is what you're doing basically replaceable? Can you as the owner be replaced? Is this something that's easy, or is this something that takes a very specific knowledge to be able to do? And the last one of all on running and starting your own business, guys, is to be able to recharge. I know we talk about working 6 hours or 6 days a week sometimes, 7 days a week sometimes, if that's what it takes. Occasionally recharge. It doesn't matter if it's a 5-minute, I'm going to do something fun for myself. It doesn't matter if it's, I'm going out on a Wednesday. I'm going to take the boat out and I'm going to stay out there as long as I want to, and it takes you 5 hours, 6 hours. It doesn't matter, okay? But I don't necessarily, especially when I first started, I wouldn't start Monday and then on Friday I'm going to start recharging Saturday and Sunday. It wasn't like that. It's I'm go, 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 go. I mentally need a break. And then I would take a break literally right then. Like whatever, like it could be Tuesday at 2 p.m. That's when I would literally take a break. You need to find that break thing for you. Maybe it's going for a run. Maybe it's taking a motorcycle out for a ride. Maybe it's taking the boat or a jet ski. For me, it was this.
Okay, there you go. Stop. Go. Go, 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 go.
It was actually taking out the paramotor. I would literally go into a field, I would take off, I would get over the clouds, and I would literally fly this thing, up to 5, 6, 7,000 feet. Sometimes turn off the motor and literally just cruise over the clouds. Like, that was my Zen moment. That was like my, wow, this is nothing to do with work, and this is all just it's me time. Okay, you need to find something in life that is your me time that helps you. Okay, that was awesome. Now we can get back to building a legacy business that we can potentially hand down to our family members for a lifetime. Guys, thanks so much for watching. If you guys liked content, be sure to hit like and subscribe. I make several videos on real estate investing and just life in general per week. If you guys have any questions, I want to help answer your questions specifically. What are you guys looking to start up? What questions did you guys have about your business? Any questions that I can help you guys out at all, I'm here for you. I don't sell anything. My channel is 100% for free, and I do this just to help out the next guy, kind of paying it back or paying it forward, however you want to look at it. And I'll see you guys on the next one.